Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Busy Wednesday in college hoops. It is the SEC tournament, and I think the most interesting result of the day was at the SEC tournament in the opener. The team, the program, the school that we talk about oh so much here on the Aaron Torres Pod YouTube channel. There is no avoiding them. It is the Arkansas Razorbacks. Okay, so listen, bottom line with Arkansas, listen, I've talked a lot about them, but to me, in my opinion, they were in the NCAA tournament coming into the SEC tournament this week, okay? So listen, there's a lot of different, first of all, there's a lot of just media outlets that cover bracketology and this and that and the other thing. But let's also call a spade a spade. There's some people maybe in the media that don't really like John Calipari, that maybe don't want to see him succeed. And so I'm not picking on anybody in specific, but you saw so many people, if they don't beat South Carolina, are they on the outside looking in? Well, listen, I've said it all along, but going into the weekend, they had 5 quad one wins. And I'll be honest, by the way, the first South Carolina loss, that was bad. That was not good. But they beat Oklahoma. I believed once they beat Mississippi State that they are in. That was last Saturday. Well, I bring it up because there was some talk of just beat South Carolina, the 16 seed in the SEC tournament, and then you don't have to worry, okay? You beat South Carolina, you're in. If you lose to them, again, in my opinion, you're probably still in. But 1, it's a sweat from Wednesday till Selection Sunday. 2, you do pick up another quad 2 loss, and then 3, you're just setting yourself up for what happens with bid stealers, this and that. So it really wasn't so much about getting another win as it was avoiding a bad loss. And to their credit, the Arkansas Razorbacks, it was not always pretty, but they get the victory to open the SEC tournament. If you watch this game, it was quite an adventure, okay? Final score in Nashville, the SEC opener. Arkansas gets the win 72-68, okay? So first of all, wild game. And before we get to the not good stuff, let's get to the good stuff. I think you can argue the first half for Arkansas was maybe the best half of basketball that they have played all season long. 47 points in the first half. Remember, they just played South Carolina at South Carolina, put up 14 points in the first half. Well, I bring it up because they put up 47. They're cruising. Everything's going good. And you think they're going to cruise to a victory. Then the second half happens. And listen, I think there was a number of variables. There was an injury to Big Z. We'll get to it in a minute. There was some foul trouble. But Arkansas also did score there for about 8, 9, 10 minutes. And so it's crazy because Arkansas at one point, let me pull this up because I took some notes here. So Arkansas was up by 18. 59-41 at one point. South Carolina proceeds to go on a 19-2 run. They cut the lead to 61-60. I believe at some point they actually did take the lead. In the end, though, it does not matter because Arkansas finds a way to win. Again, 72-68 is the victory. Now, listen, I think a couple things here when I think about this game. First of all, it wasn't pretty in the second half. I don't think it was all on Arkansas. Listen, I'm not going to be the guy, blame the refs for everything, but it went from this fun, free-flowing game, Arkansas is playing well, to every little thing was called in the paint. Jonas Adu picked up, I believe, his third foul with 12, 13 minutes to go. They put him on the bench. He comes in, picks up another foul, very cheap. Trevin Brazil, do you remember, I think it was Big Z, came out of the game for one free throw, and then somebody picked up a foul, and they literally had to put him back in. And so the refereeing wasn't great. And then I think the other thing is exactly what I just said. Big Z has some sort of injury that and I see the chat already kind of talking about it, but I bring it up because Big Z goes to the bench. He's holding his wrist on one side, but then he's holding his thumb on the other. He does come in and makes 2 free throws. That was the only points that Arkansas scored for about an 8-9 minute stretch. But, you do wonder what his status is as we're recording here late Wednesday into Thursday as Arkansas gets set for the Ole Miss game on Thursday afternoon. I just bring it up because we don't know Big Z's status. But to me, let's just credit Arkansas, man. They keep finding ways to win. And I believe they're officially in the NCAA tournament. First of all, let me just say this. To me, I know we can't give Coach Cal credit for anything. By the way, can we take half a second here? I need to get something off my chest, okay? So if you saw the end of the game, Arkansas goes up 3 with a Nelly Davis made free throw. He then appears to intentionally try to miss the free throw, basically, which is just strange because it would have given you a 4-point lead with 3 seconds to go. Jay Billis can't understand it. John Calipari, whatever. And I bring it up because after the game, John Calipari goes to the podium and he says, I told Nelly Davis to miss that free throw. Let me tell you this. I've been covering Coach Cal a long time. Coach Cal did not, because when Coach Cal says that, it immediately goes to the internet. Oh, he's the worst coach ever. He's the most overrated coach ever. He doesn't even understand simple mathematics. Listen, I've covered Coach Cal long enough to know. He was covering for his player. He basically went to the podium and said, that's my bad, so his player didn't have to answer questions. If you just go back and watch the video, you'll see very clearly that he is freaking out in the background when Nelly Davis tried to miss that free throw on purpose. That was not a coaching decision. That was a player mistake. It happens. Arkansas survives. But at the same time, let me just say this. I truly believe what I said. They're one of the most resilient teams I've ever seen, okay? And we can go back to the preseason. They only brought on 9 real kind of playable players. They call them NIL players. In other words, players that are getting NIL plus scholarship. Everybody else is on scholarship, but they're not getting NIL, okay? And so you can blame the staff for doing that. I don't, because if you remember back to last year with Kentucky, Cal had too many guys by the end of the year. So some of the injury stuff is on the coaching staff. But the counter to that, Boogie Flan goes down. You play your best basketball. Adu Thero goes down. You think the season, you can't survive this season if he doesn't come back. Well, he hasn't come back. You lose to South Carolina. You then win at Vandy. You then take care of business against Mississippi State, and you then win this game. And so to me, you talk about resilience. It's the 0-5 to start SEC play, but it is also not just the 0-5 to start SEC play. It is everything that has happened with this team since. It's the resilience. It's the next guy stepping up. You know, to me, I actually, listen, I can be critical of Jay Billis at times, but he used a line that I really liked in this game. He says, sometimes you need to be needed. And what that means is there's guys on that team that kind of, they didn't know their role. How do they fit? How do they this? How do they that? And then all of a sudden, when a guy gets hurt, when somebody gets injured, you look up and it's like, oh, we actually need you. Trevin Brazil, you don't have time to think about and what happens if this, and I missed a shot and I'm putting my head. No, we need you to just play. And so you look at this team and it's what I said. They keep finding ways to win. I remain so impressed with this team, and it's different guys stepping up every game. The last couple games, it has been Trevin Brazil. We just mentioned him. By the way, Trevin Brazil is crazy, man, because you watch these games, it's like this is a dude that in the SEC, Jimmy Dykes says this all the time, and he's right. It's the second most athletic league in basketball behind only the NBA. And Trevin Brazil, relative to the rest of the SEC, is like the biggest freak of an athlete. I think you could probably argue Adu Thero and Trevin Brazil are maybe the 2 best athletes in that league, which is insane to think about. I haven't really thought about it, but I think there's an argument there. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. But it's just like Trevin Brazil stepping up. You know, Billy Richmond has had moments defensively. Carter Knox has had moments defensively. DJ Wagner hits another big 3. I think we talked about it on Sunday's show. The idea that DJ Wagner has been one of the best guards in college basketball the last 7-8 games. Again, Boogie Flan goes down. There's no time to rotate. There's no time to think. There's no time to dwell. There's no time to whatever. And I love the way that DJ has stepped up. I love the way that DJ continues to play with confidence. I love the way that DJ continues to evolve and get better as the season goes on, okay? This is a guy, I was thinking about this, all the scorn that he took at this time last year at his previous school. Now he is one of the most reliable players that you can have in college basketball. He is a guy, 13 points, 6 assists in this game, that big 3-pointer, and it's been really fun to watch him develop. But I just give so much credit to this team. Truly respect everything that they've done. Truly respect the way that they've played themselves off the bubble. And there's nothing else to say other than that, like, man, oh, man, oh, man. I just don't know how you can't be excited about this team. And I'll tell you what, I know this is the cliche. not the team that you want to face in the NCAA tournament. Like I know that's the cliche talking point now, but I mean, if you can go on a run where in the last 7 weeks you beat Kentucky at Kentucky, you beat Missouri at home, you sweep Texas, you beat Mississippi State, you win at Vandy. That is an incredible run, and that is just a team that I do not want to see. So I'll tell you what, we're going to commercial break. Arkansas gets the win. By the way, here's my prediction. I think they beat Ole Miss on Thursday. I think, one, it's a good matchup for them. But two, every time you kind of think, okay, weird game, are they going to come out? No. They'll be good to go. I like them. I think they beat Ole Miss. And with that, 2 quick reminders. One, you better be following our Torres on the Hogs page, Torres on the Hogs, because we're going to have wall-to-wall coverage of this SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament. Arkansas is officially in. And beyond that, as we get to commercial break, I just got one question for you, baby. Can anybody stop the Big Pig Invasion? That's right. Can anybody stop the Big Pig Invasion? Order your T-shirts now. Obviously, we will try to get them out as quickly as we can so you have them for next Thursday, Friday. Can anybody stop the Big Pig Invasion? You can get that at AaronTorresOnline.com/merchandise. AaronTorresOnline.com/merchandise.